Say this is because between the Democrat and Republican, they are actually friends. They only fight in front of us. Yeah. The kids go to school together, they golf together, niggas. So, but we don't understand that we are the spoils of war. No matter what. If we were invaded by another country, and they said, just say China said that they want their debt paid because we owe China debt, they can give us up to China. They blacks because they own us. They gave us rights. We hadn't really fought for rights. We protested it for them. We didn't fight for them, so we don't equally have rights and protection under the law. So to participate politically, I say it's great. But if you're not focusing locally on the people you know in the local politics, then you lose. If you can't move to a small area of a state and 1,000 black people, 500 black families go here and say that we want to annex this county and we want to make this so if we're not doing that, then we ain't playing politics. We're just the pawns.
No tax on over that.
So now we're just the pawns, homie. We ain't playing politics like that.
So as I'm listening to you saying so much positive, so much informative information that you're giving us tonight, but I can't help but wonder why when you say stuff like this, people, they act like they don't really want to pay attention to that. They only focus on when you say something about, like I said, a rapper or, somebody that's doing something crazy in the community. Why do you think people hate to be called out on those hypocrisies so much?
You ever been asleep and somebody come in and cut them goddamn lights on and you wake up and say, hey man, turn the lights off, man, down. And them lights hurt your eyes because you've been asleep so long? That's us. Man, you gotta think. We just made it to the information age. We just now starting to know about things that can't be hidden anymore. So now we have knowledge and information that we once didn't have before, that our ancestors, our grandmamas and them didn't have. Nigga, everybody don't want the lights on.
Right.
Everybody don't want the lights on, man. So that's what man, listen, white people really had a civil war. And it really wasn't over slavery. They want you to believe that it was over slavery, but it was more over the federal government and the states. State rights versus federal. Man, fuck you. You can't tell me I can't have no slaves and this been the way, man. Fuck y'all. So it really wasn't over slavery. It was over more economics. Yeah, we got more power than y'all, and we're counting our slaves. That's where the 3/5 slavery count come from. We picking cotton, send it up there to the north where you guys are. You guys got the industrial warehouses. Y'all making jeans and linens. Come on now, America's booming. We become a superpower. Why would y'all want to stop this? That's what they were fighting over. We becoming we're a world superpower. We're the youngest country on earth, and we control the world. Why the fuck would y'all want to stop this? So that's what we gotta have amongst black people. But this fight is over who's right and who's wrong. Because now black people uphold wrong. As if our mothers and our fathers, man, we really wasn't taught right. Now, post-crack baby era, them motherfuckers were taught wrong. But man, if you were born in, man, 93 on down, 93, man, you got morals, you got values, and you know right from wrong. Yeah, man, so I'm saying, come on, homie, how we gonna act like, how we gonna look at right and say right is wrong, and look at wrong and say wrong is right? Man, those are the end of times in the Bible, according to scripture. A group of people that do that.
Speaking of scripture, Charleston White, I always wanted to ask you, what's your take on spirituality? What do Charleston White believe in? Do you even believe in God?
I do. I was raised in Christian. Niggas celebrate Easter egg hunting, go to church on Mother's Day. The traditional black people. You learn Amazing Grace. You know, you see the people that catch the Holy Ghost in the church, but they still drank after church. You know, pastor guy. You know, so I grew up trying to understand the Bible, praying. You know, our Father, who are memorizing that prayer. As I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul, memorizing that prayer, getting on side the bed, on my knees. So I grew up with that, but not really knowing God.
Do you still pray when you go through
No.
times when you don't pray no more?
I don't pray at all.
Why not?
Cause my mama say, God already know before you were going through this that you would go be going through this, and He already got it figured out for you. So
what do you think about Marvin Sapp?
hold on, we'll get to that. If God already know I'm going through this, and He already got it worked out in my favor, then why I need to bother Him with praying? God, give me the strength. God, give me the strength to get through this. Give me the same spirit that rose Christ from the dead. That's all I ask, God. I don't want nothing else from God but the same spirit that rose Christ from the dead, because it says, with this spirit, I ain't got to read the Bible. It said, with this spirit, that this spirit will write God's word upon my heart. I can't understand the Bible. Why I gotta go to church, God, at the same time every Sunday, and I gotta wait for the preacher to get the word from you, God? And I was just talking to you last night, but I wasn't praying. I was saying, God damn, God, I can't take this no more. But I wasn't praying. Because I had a friend who committed suicide when we was children. A guy by the name of Commodore Ross. And I remember being put in the same cell that he killed himself in. And they did this to punish me. They wouldn't give me a Bible. I couldn't access the chaplain, nor the Catholic priest. I couldn't call mama. And I'm saying, how do I get God right now? How do I call on God? As a little bitty boy, I'm saying this, homie, because I'm having suicidal thoughts, because this overwhelming feeling of me being in this cell. So I'm having an emotional breakdown, and I ain't got a Bible to read, and I can't even understand it. So how can, as a 13, 14, how can I access God? By that spirit that raised Christ from the dead. So fuck that Bible, fuck that preacher, fuck going to church. God, give me the spirit, because Jesus said He was going to send back the spirit, not the Bible, not the preacher. Give me that spirit. How do I access the spirit? I need the spirit, man. The spirit is what gave Jesus the power to walk on water. Jesus couldn't do it without the spirit. So, man, fuck that book. God, give us. So this generation have to be able to access the spirit. They can't read. If only 36% of our children can read on or above their grade level, how they gonna access God out the Quran or the Bible? They can't even read. If they mamas ain't taught them by God, when they go to jail and they locked in, how they access this spirit of God? And they don't even know. I don't even know how to pray. Most of them don't even know how. So how they gonna get that spirit? So man, give me that spirit. Fuck everything everybody else talking about.
One of the people in the crowd said, man, what is your take on this Marvin Sapp situation?
They were supposed to rob the church that day, knowing it was $40,000 goddamn dollars in there. Somebody supposed to text their nephew or their son, one of them grandmama that got them robbing their grandbaby, and came up there and said they holding us hostage. Boy, them niggas kicked the doors in for mama and grandma. Because, man, the Bible says that the church is a storehouse and not a bank. You're not supposed to save money. You're supposed to have non-perishable food items. When you pay tithes, you're supposed to take toilet tissue, Pampers, tampons, baby wipes into the storehouse, beans, canned goods, so they can store it up. Not for the bank account, because the bank account pastor go get him 3 luxury cars, a diamond pinky ring. His wife go on luxury vacations. And God don't need no money. So why you bothering us about money? And most of the people you bothering about money is struggling at, above, or below the poverty line. So why you shaking these people down for money? Why the church don't have nothing going on running the daycare service where the women can pay a half price? You see what I'm saying? I give to the church, but I can't get nothing back out the church. Man, fuck the church.
Do you think that the 501c3 charter is basically putting encryption on the evolution of black people who are stuck in Christianity? Because even when you tie it all the way back to etymology as far as the word Christian, it means black when you go to the Strong Concordance. So a lot of people, just a multitude of, the demographic of blacks.
Yeah, Christian is a cult. That's a cult, because the Bible doesn't speak of Christians. There's no title for people that believe in God. It says that religion is what makes the real God void, because you have religion and all these rules that go along with religion. Man, let me just say this, because now today's church is a 501c3, and by way of the United States Constitution, church and state is supposed to be separate. So how can the church become a tax-exempt organization to the state? But because President George Bush pushed the faith-based initiative concept, the church now have got in bed with the state, and the state control the church. That's why the preacher have to be censored to preach. He can't just freely preach. That's why now, during political seasons, you now have politicians who now come to the church and campaign at the church by way of the preacher. That's why now, every time there's a police shooting or they need a black leader, they run to the person that they're in bed with, the preacher, with the 501c3 tax exempt status, and they don't go to the real community leaders. The preacher is one of the biggest tools next to hip hop that's being used to keep the black race docile and subservient.
Facts. So, with that truth being said, do you think, as a whole, that we have to divorce from the religious aspects and get to the inception of our true spirituality?
Grandmama done gave so much to the church, and the church having came with a corporate insurance policy like the employment world, they robbing us. Even when we die, we got to give the pastor or the preacher or the church some type of stipends of money just to even be buried here. And if you ain't been giving tithes to the church, you can't be buried here, nigga. So we should have been divorced the church a long time ago, following Dr. King. The preacher led us into this burning building.
Yeah, even Martin Luther King, he said that because he understood that it was correlated with the economic infrastructure to combat, gentrification and things of that nature. So as far as, the religion,
nobody takes in more money than the black church, by the way.
Nobody.
Oh yeah, millions of dollars. And they don't even use their status to even combat the afflictions that is propagated by, policy and government.
They only open on Sundays and Wednesdays.
Right.
Yeah, so they're pretty much obsolete and invisible to the black community.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I heard you say earlier that the thing that kind of got you out of the street life, or before you could even get all the way to it, was fatherhood.
Yeah, fatherhood.
So how do you feel about situations like this whole Anthony Edwards situation, where he just went on and paid the child support? He don't want to have nothing to do with the baby, even though he made the baby and did what it took. He don't want to have nothing to do with it. He just
I think he's a hero to black men. Not only that, I think it's okay to walk away from the baby. Man, fuck that baby. You done had a baby with this hoe. Man, y'all just fuck it. Man, this bitch already got a baby by another nigga. Y'all just fucking having fun and she wanna ruin the fun by keeping the baby. Man, bitch, abort the baby. Man, come on now. You done aborted some before. You done aborted some before, and then when you get mad at me, guess what? It's your baby, remember?
Right.
When the black woman get mad at you, don't she say, this is my baby? You can't tell me what to do with this baby. And don't, when you have a baby by the black woman, she take 100% control of your legacy. So, nigga, why would you stay there? Fuck that baby.
Right.
She got 100% control of it. If she don't want to get his baby my last name, he won't have my last name. She get to shape his mind of how he see me. Fuck that baby. Granddad and them did, and they fared out well. So this group of men saying, man, you can't walk off on the baby. Why not? We were just fucking. She knew that. Well, you should have used a rubber. She should have made me. It take two, don't it?
Facts.
And you don't think that morally,
Fuck morals, nigga. Fuck morals. Listen, I'm saying fuck morals when I wake up and sin against God when I want to have fun. When I want to have fun on the weekend, I'm single, I'm not married, I want to have sex. I ain't thinking about morals. When I'm masturbating, watching my favorite porn video, I ain't thinking about morals. Fuck that baby in them morals. I need a peace of mind, black man. Nothing is more greater to a black man than his peace of mind. It's even greater than the responsibilities of being a father. Because if you can't think straight as a black man and she got you rattled and got control over your life, let me pay you because this is all about money. Because if this is not about money, you would put me on child support before the baby get here. You know why? So I can have rights to my son or my daughter. Because without child support, without me being married to you, I really don't have no rights to this kid. So if you really concerned about me being a father, put me on child support now. And let's deal with this now. Let's talk about visitation rights before the kid get here, if we really serious. Other than that, bitch, you just mad because we ain't fucking no more. You ain't getting no more money. And I got some new pussy. You got some new dick. Can we go on? Let the baby grow up and catch me when he's 16, 17 years old. I might have a different heart at the time. But right now, fuck that baby. My woman don't want the baby. My woman don't want the baby. I'm just being real. Ain't that how it go? Because I'm not, man, just because we done had a baby, man, we both made this mistake. You deal with it. So you protect you, lady, is what I'm trying to say. Man, give it up for CPS. Give your rights up. Terminate your rights as a father, nigga. Let the courts know I don't give a damn about this baby. I want my rights terminated. I don't even want to get attached to the baby or none of that. That's, yeah. I support it 100%. And I support saying, nigga, if you got to fight to see your baby, if you got to be disrespected to see your baby, if you don't have no peace just to see your baby, nigga, fuck your baby. Get you right, nigga. Don't sit out the nigga, fuck that baby. Nigga, disappear for a while. It'll hurt for a moment, but nigga, you'll feel better as a man later. That's what I'm talking. And the kid will be all right. There's plenty of niggas done grew up without a dad and turned out to be successful basketball players.
With some respect, y'all. With some respect. We're gonna go to the audience and anybody in the audience want to.
And you can be disrespectful. I know how to match energy. See, we got security to stop a fight. We just be hollering at each other.
Charleston White go hard now. Did you eat your food yet that you got from here?
I stuck my finger in the chicken, but I didn't want to tell nobody because I didn't wash my hand. But I touched it on the back part though. I didn't touch the whole part. I didn't want to say that, but I'm just being honest. But yeah, I taste that grape. Yes, man. It's in the cone on the back part. That's the whole part I touched.
Okay.
We gotta put you back in the back.
When you see yourself 2 or 3 years, you think you continue this or?
In the cemetery.
You lying to me, nigga. They said this what I tell myself. I ain't done nothing to damn motherfucker to be killed. I've never shot a gun at a black person. I've never sold dope in the black community. I've never abused and put my hands on a black woman. When I was trying to pimp, I never tried to pimp on a black woman. You see what I'm saying? So why would I think that harm would come to me for what I say, and they idolize niggas that say worse? They idolize gangbanging niggas, OG niggas who done really kill people and hurt people. They idolize real pimps. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm saying there's nothing in my mind that'll make me believe that harm is coming my way. That's why I'm so brutal with my words, because I don't believe there's gonna be anything that'll happen to me. I showed up here with no security, no nothing. I traveled around the country with no security, no nothing. So I'm saying to myself, why would black people think that harm would come my way when y'all know people who done really harm people that's walking around enjoying life? That don't make sense to me.
We got another question right here.
What was it again? So I transitioned to doing comedy because black people didn't want the realness. They wanted to laugh. So I said I didn't want the things that I say to supersede the things that I do amongst my people, but I started to realize that black people, words matter more than what you do. That's how everybody can play on us. Because we look at your words. If you can come deliver some words to us, you got us. You ain't got to do so. I came to comedy. And when I came to comedy, I found my gift. And so I've been selling out comedy shows around the country. I'm headlining my own comedy tour. I've had a Live Nation tour. Netflix is looking to pick up a comedy special. So, man, I see myself being one of the top 5 comedians in the next 2 years.
Here we go right here.
I had a question about what you feel about, all the potential he got and they're all successful. But what do you feel about Yo Gotti?
What I feel about Yo Gotti? I got a lot of respect and admiration for Yo Gotti. I think he's a very clever businessman that done gave a lot of opportunities to a lot of young brothers throughout the country. But you know, he got a dark cloud.
Do you feel like, is it true that like he's trying to sell CMG?
I don't know. I don't know him like that.
That's what I was trying to
I don't know what them rap niggas got going on. Them niggas, I don't know what them niggas got going on. I just know, his brother being killed and his brother having ties to Dolph being killed leaves a stain on his name and his organization. So, black on black violence.
Anybody else? Here I come.
Yes, sir.
I got you right here.
So first of all, I just want to say I got the utmost respect for you, brother. Some things you say I love, some things you say I hate, but at the end of the day, I got the utmost respect for you, especially after today. But my question is, you said something earlier about the public school system being indoctrination.
Yeah.
And I also seen you say in the video that reparations is the public school system for the black people.
Yeah.
So now that just got me a little confused on how you really feel about. Cause I feel like the public school system is bullshit. Like you said, it's indoctrination. When you really look at it, our kids, they can't read, and a whole lot of more shit. You know what I'm saying? So
free education, because the slaves wasn't afforded this same opportunity. So if you add up the tax dollars in public education and what your state spends and what they fight over to agree to have a budget for your public school system, and that's a lot of money. Who else is teaching us to read? We don't love black children enough to make sure that they know how to read before they go to school. None of us do. Nigga, the furthest we get our kids to is ABC 1, 2, 3, LMNOP. But when they get to school, it's the white public school system that we have a disdain for to teach our children how to read, not only how to read, how to do addition, subtraction. So no one else is teaching our children. They don't come out of our homes already educated. And niggas, education starts at home.
There you go.
They don't come out of our homes already educated. They come out dumb. When they get to that white boy school system, they don't even know how to pronounce the or the. And we mad at this school system? Michelle Alexander wrote this book that's called The New Jim Crow, and it talks about how the school system is your school to prison pipeline. But every day you send your kid to that school, not only knowing that this school miseducates your kid, that most of them are uneducated. And they have behavior problems. Not only do they have behavior problems at that school, the nutrition that they're being fed is almost similar to dog food, but you don't pack a lunch for your kids to have a nutritional meal at school. So what's your problem with the school, black people? I heard what you're saying, but I'm watching what you're doing. You completely rely on this broken school system to educate your kid up to the 12th grade. You don't have no curriculums, no programs in place for you to educate your kid. When your kid get out of school, you don't stop this kid and say, what did you learn today? To debrief your child on what they learned so you can, come on now. Come on, man.
One more question. What would your thoughts be on, I believe it was Rockefeller that founded the publishing.
That's who created it, yeah.
Okay. And he has a slogan that goes, I'm trying to create workers, not thinkers. So when you look at the whole,
I used two words earlier, docile and subservient. Those make great workers. You come into work tired, you docile, you just clock in, and you go on the thing, and you tired. You ain't got no energy, but you at work. You ain't got no energy, you're depressed, but boy, you come into work, you don't miss work. Boy, you come in, you driving to work, you don't feel good. You a docile, subservient worker. That's what he created, so that's what the school produces. Well, because just think about this. The slave couldn't read. It was against the law for the slave to read. If we didn't teach you how to read, how else would you know how to read, black people? So that's your reparations. You know how to read. Now you can get a job. You can make you some money. You can go get a job because we taught you how to read, not your home.
We're gonna do one more.
What do you and Dubberry do for fun?
Dubberry got to go home every night. I be in the strip club. Yeah, that nigga Dubberry got to go home. Me and Dubberry been friends since we were 15.
Okay.
Yeah. We been friends since we were 15 years old. I ain't like him at first.
Yeah, he like him.
Cause he had a cool walk. And I seen him when he walked in the cafeteria. I seen all the girls' heads turn. So I was a little hater. Y'all was a hater. Yeah. I used to be a little hater.
And then one more question. So when we took a picture, it didn't say, can I take a selfie with you?
Yeah, most definitely. Big dog. We'll catch it afterward. Yeah. Well, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it.
I appreciate it.
Have you ever met a mother that has done some of those things that you just say you don't see? Like, for instance, have you ever met parents that are having kids that go to school and they already know how to read, write their names, and all of those things? Have you ever seen kids that, they're getting life skills at home before they graduate? Have you experienced seeing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Those kids don't get in trouble. those kids' mannerisms and behaviors and actions are foreign to what we see in the majority of our young people. So you can tell, I see those kids all the time.
Okay, I asked that question because you said we ain't doing that. So what you're saying is the majority of people aren't taking time to teach their kids how to read, but that do exist, and you have seen that, right?
Yes, ma'am, but it's a small minority, and it's almost invisible.
Okay.
Because it's so small. So when I say we, it's so small, man, we messed up as a race of people.
I got just one more piece of that. Thank you for, expressing that and acknowledging that you have seen that before, because at some of the points of the things you said, I wish a woman was on that stage also to kind of combat those male views. And I get that we did that, but I just want to acknowledge.
Well, let me just say this. The woman have been raising the boy by herself. No interference, all on her own. And all statistics by herself lead him to prison. No matter how good she thinks she's doing, no matter how good she thinks she can combat it, she's the one raising the one everybody don't like, not even her. She's raising him to be the man she can't even have. So I understand what you're saying, sister, but right now there's a headline where a well-to-do black kid that come from the home you just described stabbed a white kid at school. And those are the headlines right now.